10 royal jewels the palace never allowed Diana to wear. For all the jewels Diana wore, there were others she never even got the chance to touch. Pieces so symbolic, so politically charged, or so fiercely protected that the palace kept them locked away from her. These were not simple accessories. These were royal weapons. And for Diana, they were the 10 jewels she was quietly forbidden from ever wearing. And the deeper you look, the more it becomes clear that the jewels Diana never wore reveal just as much about the monarchy as the ones she did. Before we begin, please support my channel by clicking on the like and subscribe button. Thank you. Let us begin. Number 1. The Cartier Halo Tiara. The Cartier Halo Tiara entered royal life long before Diana's story began. Back in 1944, London was living through nightly air raids, and the Queen Mother, facing the darkness of war, chose a delicate birthday gift for her daughter, Elizabeth. A tiara crafted by Cartier in 1936. 16 diamond scrolls, airy, romantic, perfectly suited for a young woman who had not yet been shaped by destiny. But destiny moved faster than anyone imagined. Elizabeth became queen at 25. Every appearance carried the expectations of an empire. The halo tiara, once meant for a carefree princess, now felt inappropriate for a monarch facing global responsibility. She passed it to Princess Margaret, later to Princess Anne. The tiara became a symbol of beginnings, of youth, of the early steps into royal identity. When Diana arrived, she was young, yes, but she was stepping onto a stage unlike anything the monarchy had seen. The palace wanted her to project instant majesty. The Spencer tiara carried the power of family heritage. The lover's knot projected royal authority. The halo, with all its softness, was deliberately kept away. It waited decades until Catherine Middleton revived it at her wedding. Diana's chapter never touched it. We have number 2, the Kent Amethyst Parure. Few suites in the royal collection hold as much emotional weight as the Kent Amethyst Parure. Deep violet stones set in gold and diamonds. A necklace bold enough for a queen. Earrings, brooches, even hair ornaments. Its origins trace back to the Duchess of Kent and carry echoes of early Victorian history. But in British royal symbolism, amethyst is tied to sorrow. It represents mourning, penitence, and emotional heaviness. Queen Victoria wore amethyst during periods of grief. The association never faded. When Elizabeth inherited the parure in the 1950s, she wore the full set only once, in Portugal in 1985. Observers noted how uncharacteristic it looked on her. The suite carried an energy she rarely embraced. After that moment, she quietly restricted it to a single brooch, worn without its pendant drops. For Diana, this was a jewel the palace would never consider. Her story was already entangled with narratives of loneliness and emotional struggle. Dressing her in Victorian mourning stones would have sharpened those narratives. The Kent amethysts stayed locked away, untouched, too dark for the image they were trying to shape for her. Next is number 3, the Japanese diamond and pearl choker. In the 1970s, the Japanese government gifted pearls to the Queen as a gesture of deep diplomatic respect. Gerard transformed them into a 4-strand choker with a striking diamond clasp. Elegant, structured, heavy with political symbolism. But Elizabeth herself never warmed to chokers. She preferred long strings of pearls that added height to her profile. Chokers cut across the neck, interrupting the clean vertical line she cultivated. Diana was famously experimental. She turned an emerald choker into a headpiece. She wore historical jewels in ways the palace had never anticipated. For a jewel gifted by a foreign government, the risk of unexpected styling was too great. The Japanese choker stayed with Elizabeth. From there, it moved directly to Catherine, who wears it with controlled precision. Diana's chapter with this diplomatic piece never existed. And now, Number 4. The 5 Aquamarine tiara. Rarely seen and barely documented, the 5 Aquamarine tiara is one of the most mysterious pieces in the royal vault. 5 large aquamarines arranged in diamonds with motifs of ribbons and bows. Unlike the Queen's beloved Brazilian aquamarine tiara, this one felt modern and slightly theatrical. Elizabeth wore it once, in Yellowknife in 1970. Then it vanished from public life for more than 4 decades. Diana, on the other hand, had an instinct for creating iconic images. The palace often tried to manage her sparkle, not amplify it. A tiara with unclear provenance and a dramatic profile could have drawn attention they were not ready to handle. So while Diana dazzled in sapphires and diamond pieces, the aquamarine tiara waited silently until Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh, revived it abroad. Number 5. Empress Maria Feodorovna's sapphire choker. This piece began its life in the gilded world of the Russian imperial court. 4 rows of pearls, 20 diamond bars, and a sapphire clasp that could be worn as a brooch or bracelets. Empress Maria Feodorovna wore it in the 1890s. After revolutions scattered Russia's aristocracy, it became one of the few treasures she carried into exile. Queen Mary purchased it. Elizabeth inherited it. But chokers were never her style. She wore it once, then passed it to Princess Anne, who embraced its intensity and history. For Diana, whose image was shaped around openness and emotional vulnerability, this imperial choker would have projected the wrong message. Too grand, too cold, too rigid. The palace never offered it to her. It lived in a different corner of royal symbolism. Number 6. Queen Victoria's wheat ear brooches. 6 diamond brooches shaped like wheat stalks, commissioned in 1830 and studded with hundreds of stones from George III's collection. Each one reflected Victorian symbolism of harvest, prosperity, and duty. Elizabeth experimented with wearing them as hair ornaments or as clustered brooches, but their size and rigidity made them difficult to adapt to modern styling. They belonged to a world of structured gowns, heavy fabrics, and static portrait sittings. Diana's fashion era was different. Clean silhouettes, bright colours, movement, emotion. The wheat ears would have clashed visually and symbolically. They bypassed her and eventually appeared decades later on Princess Eugenie, where their old-world grandeur found new meaning. Next is number 7, the Greville Emerald Kokoshnik. Perhaps the most dramatic of all 10 pieces, a 93-carat cabochon emerald set in diamonds in the Russian Kokoshnik style, created in 1919 by Boucheron, passed to the Queen Mother by Dame Margaret Greville, whose bequest shocked society. Rumours of questionable provenance floated around the tiara, not confirmed, but never denied. Elizabeth inherited it and never wore it, likely because its presence was too commanding and its history too complex. Years later, rumours claimed Meghan Markle had requested this tiara for her wedding and was refused. That remains unverified, but the instinct matches the precedent. A stone that large, that historic, and that politically loaded was never meant for a bride whose every moment was scrutinised. Princess Eugenie wore it instead. Under the lights of St. George's Chapel, the emerald came alive. For Diana, such fire was never offered. The palace withheld it. Number 8. The diamond bandeau. In 1893, a simple diamond brooch was gifted to Princess Mary of Teck. Decades later, Queen Mary transformed that brooch into the centre of a new Art Deco tiara, 11 symmetrical sections of diamonds creating a sleek and architectural silhouette. Elizabeth inherited it and never wore it. For more than 60 years, it stayed hidden, a modernist masterpiece waiting for the right moment. Diana represented a different kind of modernity: emotional, vulnerable, groundbreaking. The palace often struggled to control that energy. Placing her in a tiara designed for Queen Mary's idea of progress would have layered her with expectations she was never meant to carry. It resurfaced only in 2018 when Meghan Markle wore it at her wedding. Its clean lines suited her era. Diana's era was never given that choice. Let's talk about number 9, the Delhi Durbar tiara. A towering creation built in 1911 for the Delhi Durbar, where George V was proclaimed Emperor of India. Massive, imperial, a visual assertion of dominance across an entire subcontinent. Elizabeth inherited it when the empire no longer existed. She wore it only once, during a visit to Malta in 2005, a symbolic nod to a former colony that had become an equal Commonwealth partner. For Diana, whose public identity became intertwined with compassion, charity, and reaching out to the marginalised, this relic of empire would have been entirely incompatible. The palace intentionally avoided placing such a burden on her head. And finally, number 10. The Meander tiara. Clean geometry. A Greek key pattern, a laurel wreath, a central diamond, strong, structured, and emotionally restrained. Elizabeth never wore it. She handed it directly to Princess Anne in 1972. It suited Anne's disciplined presence perfectly. Later, it crowned Zara at her wedding. By the time Diana entered royal life, the tiara already had a place in another branch of the family, and its stark architectural style did not align with Diana's romantic aesthetic. It remained with Anne's line, far from the Princess of Wales. These 10 jewels tell a hidden story about Diana. Her jewellery box was never simply about fashion or beauty. It was shaped by palace decisions, historical symbolism, and quiet fears about how each piece might influence the narrative around her. Some jewels were too heavy with grief, some too tied to empire, some too controlled by diplomatic meaning. Others simply did not fit the image the palace wanted to project through her. In the end, Diana became a global icon, not through the jewels she inherited, but through the humanity she carried. Yet the jewels she never touched reveal a deeper truth about royal life. Power is often found not in what is given, but in what is withheld. Let me know in the comments which of these jewels you believe would have transformed Diana's image, and which ones the palace may have been right to keep away. I always look out for your thoughts, so share your perspective below. And if you enjoyed this journey into royal history, remember to like the video and hit the notification bell. I'll see you in the next one.